America, what has happened to truth, justice, and the American way? What's going on, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, Mother's Day, May the 14th, and happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, whichever gender you are. In the meantime, happy Mother's Day, and of course, obviously, it's my mother's still around, thank God, and we're here. And of course, as I opened up with the truth, justice, and the American way, if you remember the old Superman in black and white, and we no longer have that here, and I think that's a pretty sad state of affairs. I think what the destruction of this country that we are watching is becoming beyond ridiculous, beyond scary, and I think will create much more animosity, which I believe is the current administration's plan to kind of destroy what we are and who we are. I mean, if you're watching what's going on with the border, we find obviously hundreds of thousands of immigrants, illegal immigrants flowing in, and it is my understanding that many of them are actually almost slaves that will have to pay back the cartels in which they borrowed the money to get here on, and are wearing different color bracelets that will identify what they owe. And again, I don't know that factually, I'm just telling you what I've heard. But the very fact that they are flooding into from our borders, from our southern border, is ridiculous, and it is scary, and it is against the law. Okay, just because this moronic Title 42 expired, which was tied to the vaccination, is really stupid when you look at it. But of course, if you're from the new progressive party, it's obviously you're importing your own votes, and at what cost will we as Americans have to pay this? I understand that the tab as of now is about $258 billion a day. Now again, I don't know what you think about that, but if you think that government is paying that tab, you're an idiot. Okay, the government is not paying that tab. Okay, the American taxpayers are paying the tab. If you remember, and we've brought it up here many times, that the government and the Federal Reserve make nothing but debt. They don't create product. They don't create anything. They create debt. So why are we continuing to sit here in a recessionary time and allowing our country to be overrun with illegal immigrants, illegal aliens that are not supposed to be here by law? You want to come here? Great. Go through the proper legal channels to come. But of course, the progressives, not only are they trying to destroy this country and destroy capitalism, and when we look at capitalism, I mean, I guess it's a dirty word, but the progressives, as they want to eliminate capitalism, they need the money that they create for donations. Remember, who employs people? Big companies, all companies. We all need employees to work. So why would you want to destroy something that works? Why would you want to put yourself in a position of something that doesn't work? Okay, and we look at the things that are going on and the things that we've done here. Now, of course, our genius president drained the SPR, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. And okay, now, again, don't you think that we should refill it because it is wartime oil? And why are we, if we are net exporting oil, which I would argue is not correct, why are we not refilling our Strategic Petroleum Reserve? Now, there is talk that we might see it start shortly, but what is the holdup? We have enough oil here and should be able to create enough to refill the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. And of course, this is just another issue that we have to continue to watch. And of course, you've got the the calls for impeachment of Mayorkas, of Kamala Harris, of Joe Biden. And again, I think that, I think that we are seeing treason and a lot of other things like that. But in the meantime, if they impeach Mayorkas, what's the big deal? They'll just appoint some other imbecile that'll take the place. We've seen the destruction of the American, where I guess we'll call it emotionally, financially, and morally bankrupt. Okay, we no longer have the family unit. There is no longer the, let's be together as a family. It is, all about technology. It is all about, destruction. Okay, so when you look at, the mass amount of Americans that are now going to food banks because they can't afford to eat. Yet you have people talking about that we are not in a recession. Well, again, I guess I'd like to know what the definition of recession is, because certainly we are in recessionary times, and we are watching the total destruction. And you have the, not only are Americans not working, although we have a bullshit, ridiculous jobs number that's all garbage, but they're not only not working, but they're not making any money. And of course, we continue to lose benefits, yet we're importing not only illegals, but we're importing more debt and more cost that could be helping Americans. Okay. And again, I think that this is where, we look, and of course we have the big, the debt ceiling, the debt thing, and somebody actually texted me on Friday and said, do you think they're going to come to an arrangement? I said, again, in my history of watching these stupid arguments, it's really just a show as the Democrats and Republicans sit in the back room having a scotch and smoking a cigar, and they will come to an agreement. Now, I'm hoping that we do default. I'm hoping that we shut the government down, because we have a broken, corrupt government that is being more run by what is known as the deep state. Okay, I mean, listen. First of all, our Alzheimer's president couldn't make half the decisions that are being made. Okay, and he was never that smart, even prior to Alzheimer's. So we know that there is a lot of backstories to this whole thing, but we continue to watch. Okay, and we continue to see the argument about climate change. Now, one of the Fed chairs, Waller, came out the other day and said that climate change is not that big a deal. Okay, I mean, the climate change risk not material to the U.S. And of course, that has been our stance all along, that climate change is a bunch of bullshit. Okay, and again, I don't tell you not to believe. If you want to believe, that's fine. But we still have to get to a point where we are equipped to handle the power that will be needed. Now, how are you going to create the electricity to charge all these vehicles and to power these homes? And again, you think it's just you snap your fingers and go. And I think this is a problem that we continue to watch. And of course, you now have the EPA, okay, that is ending natural gas for electricity. Now, again, was not the story that natural gas was the cleanest burning fuel that there was? Do we not have buses and trucks that run off of natural gas, and all of a sudden it's not? Does that not say, or does that not tell a story of the manipulation and the crookedness of what is happening here? For all years back, going back 10, 15, 20 years ago, the whole objective was to convert everything to natural gas, because in this country, we have an abundance of natural gas. We have an abundance of fossil fuels, which can be easily gotten to, which was the big boom for the fracking and shale industry. And now suddenly natural gas is no longer clean. It became dirty somehow. It's interesting when it comes to money, okay, of how we see things. And again, I'm hoping that the U.S. does default. I would like to see no debt ceiling because I think the bottom line is that we, as Americans, okay, are being penalized by horrible politicians on both sides of the aisle that continue to steal our money, spend, as they say, the old expression, like drunken sailors, without us having any say and without us doing anything. And of course, would you want to bail out a bank? Is that in your part? Do you want to support illegal aliens? Do you want to support this, that? I mean, there's so many things that you actually are supporting without knowing. Wouldn't it be nice to see that we could actually get into a position where we would have a true, honest count of where our money is going? I don't know about you, but to me, I'm sick and tired of taking my hard-earned dollars and giving it to a moronic government that doesn't want to spend it properly, but spend it either putting it in their own pocket, making bad deals with China, with Saudi Arabia, and penalizing us while giving up the power of the United States and turning the United States into shit, okay? Taking away truth, justice, in the American way. I cannot stand it any longer. I think that we've got to a point where we need to do something and we need to get ourselves back on track to become the world's powerhouse once again, instead of kowtowing to China, Saudi Arabia, and other countries around the world. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, the 14th of May. It is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. We're going to stop by have a break. We'll be right back with our market report after the break. Well, kids, what's going on? And, again, as you know, I've always talked about our sponsors. And, of course, we've got some brokerage sponsors. And like I said, I got brokers everywhere. But the two that I recommend the highest and the ones that I think are the best for you are Capital Trading Group, who is our partner in Day Trader's Dream and also does a lot of our letter of direction trading. They got great customer service. They do their job. They do what they're supposed to do. Okay. And at the end of the day, I recommend that everybody have, if you trade futures and equities, you have a futures broker and you have an equity broker. I don't think they should be mixed. They don't make a good mix. In the meantime, check out Capital Trading Group, info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And of course, trade your brokerage. What could be better than paying $10 a month flat? It still boggles my mind that I have members that pay a lot more to other brokers when they could be paying 10 flat. Not only that, but we get to automate your trades in our equity portfolios at no charge. And if you want to lease our hedging software and a licensing fee, which is very reasonable, you'll still be paying less and you'll have all your trades done automatically. But check them out, try.trader.com/Bubba. And both websites are floating on the site, so you can check them out because I do speak fast occasionally. And of course, our high school program, which, again, going back to my overall theme, is that we're broken because they don't want to teach. So what good is it? In the meantime, scrolling along the bottom, you can help us out if you want. We're giving it our last ditch effort after spending hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to put this together away for free for the schools. In the meantime, this is Bubba Bottom Line. Let's get back to the show right now. Welcome back. It is Sunday, May the 14th, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. And of course, it is our market report. And last week, as we look and we see what's going on, and it's pretty quiet. We're in this very tight, consolidating, miserable market conditions to try to trade. Makes it very challenging. Okay, but in the meantime, it is what it is. Markets are absolute, and they will eventually break out of this range. But as we look and we continue to see, like the dollar is made a little bit of a pop up, and if we were still trading dollars, we would be reversing them to the long side, but we are not. However, the euro currency, which we do have a position and have been long for quite a while, we will be shorting either tonight or tomorrow, and again, that'll depend on when you trade, but the markets will open tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern. Bitcoin is broken down a little bit. We are short Bitcoin, and again, I think Bitcoin is real. I think it's going much higher, but it has broken down, and technically, it looks like it's going to test 25,000. We are short. In the bonds and note markets, we have a mixed position. We're short bonds, long notes. Both had, a pretty flat week overall. We had some big days, but flattish overall. And that is more of the overall market direction right now is nowhere, sideways. In the meantime, we look for. I look for both bonds and notes to collapse. I think interest rates are going a lot higher, but that's a story for another day. And I'm not going to fight the market. So our official position is long notes, short bonds. In the precious metals, we were short gold. We were long gold, made nice, good cash. Gold turned around. We got short. Now we're back long again. Gold and silver got creamed the other day, and of course we had to reverse to short. I have not changed my overall opinion that gold is going to new highs and silver is going higher. But again, the short-term trend here, and this is one of the problems. Is this going to really be the trend, or is this just another false move in a tight range? And that's, the volumes are light. It's very challenging in the overall market conditions. In the meantime, as we look at platinum, which we don't trade anymore, but we would be short it right now, but I would be a buyer about 1040, 1050. Okay. Copper market, we were still short, and copper got clobbered last week. Had some wild swings, but basically ended up getting clobbered. Crude oil was a little bit lower, which we're short crude, and I think that we look at the picture, and natural gas, we're short that as well, and it's been kind of tight, but I think that $2 has been holding well. And in the grain markets, we had WASD on Friday. Didn't really create much of a reaction, but we're short corn, we're short beans. Both were slightly lower. We're long wheat, and again, but nothing is really moving. Again, I don't like to create too much despair or excitement, and especially in the market we're watching, it is miserable. There's not much trading going on, so it's very tough. In the protein complex, cattle is working its way higher as it has been. Hogs a little bit lower, and again, hogs are probably worth a pretty good shot here if you're someone interested in taking a little bit of a play. And in the softs, cocoa was higher for the week. We're long. Sugar we are short. OJ we are short. Coffee we are short, and cotton we are short. So again, at the end of the day, markets have been very challenging, and again, I think that you're going to see some major movement, and my guess is going to be equities are going to break to the downside, commodities are going to break to the upside. That's the way I see it. That's what we're looking for, but we'll see how it all plays out when it's all said and done. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, May the 14th, and we'll be back. Step out of our break and be right back with our final commentary here on Bubba's Bottom Line on Sunday, May the 14th. Well, kids, again, I'm not going to go through the entire sponsor list, but again, just scroll on the side, you see Trade Your Brokerage, you'll see Capital Trading Group. Again, I'm recommending them because they're financially and customer service wise the best in the business. Check them out if you so desire, and hopefully you will. And of course, our high school program, which we're trying to again educate our country, which again, the party of power doesn't want people to be educated. They want them to be stupid. Okay, and I want them to be educated so we understand that we're getting fleeced. But in the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and my commentary. And of course, we've got a basketball game today too. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, May the 14th, and happy Mother's Day. And of course, as you know, every week I give you a little bit of commentary, what I'm thinking. And, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm kind of really upset. And this is actually something that was personally involved to me and my family. Many of you may or may not know, my wife has worked at Walgreens, and of course, she was working and doing a favor for the store manager, and somebody had come in and jumped over the counter and stole all the cigarettes, and she was told that there's nothing she can do. She has to let the thief come in, and she cannot even defend herself. And I think you want to talk about what's going on in this country, okay? That you have a company that supports allowing the thievery, while you have a DA in Manhattan, New York, that is pressing charges on somebody who saved people in the subway. I mean, who the hell would want to help anybody when we're living under these woke policies? Does it not scare you that You can be working as somebody and you can't stop anybody if you could. You can't defend yourself, and suddenly you help somebody, and now you're going to end up getting charged with manslaughter. Are we kidding? Is this where this country is going? That we are no longer allowed to defend ourselves? Is that what you're looking for? That's where I talk about that we are lost to truth, to justice, in the American way. Not good. Okay, and this is not showing signs of getting any better. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, May the 14th, and happy Mother's Day. And hopefully, for your Mother's Day present, I will tell you that I think the Philadelphia 76ers will cover the 7-point spread against Boston today. So happy Mother's Day. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Have a great week. We'll see you back here on tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later.